fact, here's another way to really pack your policy with value. Like, for example, Foresters, what I used to always do is I used to always add the child rider. And I don't tell them I added it. I include it in the price that I give them. I go, especially if I have children, you know, because then it allows all the member benefits to, well, they get the member benefits for their family anyway. But I always throw it in there and I just say, okay, now here's a price for the full mortgage amount. This also includes covering your children for 15,000, and it's a policy they can convert to their own policy in the future. Okay, it also includes a disability waiver of premium. So if you become disabled, you no longer have to pay for your policy anymore. And if you're permanently disabled, you get your policy for free. And so it includes that as well. So I just include it. I don't do a menu. I don't say, okay, for an extra $7, you can cover all your children for 15, and then for another $7, you can get a disability waiver premium rider. It's like I just bundle it, man. I mean, because it's packed, it's more value, right? It's more value. So I just throw it in there, and then they will let me know if they're a price shopper, because they're going to say, well, I was talking to this other company, blah, blah, blah. They seem a lot cheaper. It's like, oh, which company? Blah, blah, like XYZ company. Oh, typically my experience, that quote is typically, and then I'll just tell them what it's not. It typically doesn't have all the stuff that I have, to include all the member benefits of Foresters, right? That's what I'll bring up if I know they're price shopping. And then if it's extremely lower, then it's fully underwritten, okay? And then I'll say, oh, what? The reason why that's so low is they're gonna make you, pee in a cup from 10 feet. They're gonna take all your blood and they're gonna look for all the things wrong with you, okay? And in our experience, people that have to go through, blood and urine test have a 50% chance of getting declined because the company will find out something wrong with them in their blood and then decline them. And that's the wrong time to find out there's something wrong with you, because then it will be recorded in the medical insurance board database, so that if you apply for any health insurance or life insurance in the future, that'll be like a bankruptcy. It's kind of like a medical bankruptcy mark on your record, but it doesn't drop off after 7 years. It stays with you forever. So anytime you apply for health or life insurance from now on, that black mark will show that you've been declined, and then they're going to delve further into it. So really, last place you would ever want to find out something wrong with you is on an insurance examination. So this is why we recommend clients go this particular way without having to go through blood and urine, because you wouldn't want, okay, end with a question. I mean, you wouldn't want to find out that there's something wrong with you on an insurance exam, would you? Would you? No, I wouldn't. Well, that's why I recommend going this way. But it's so much more expensive. Well, look, here's the beautiful thing about this. We can get you covered with this policy now and make sure it's in place. Once we know it's in place and the insurance company has approved you, and then we deliver it and everything is good, then down the road, we can apply doing a fully underwritten blood and urine test if you want, and then we can change this policy to one of those policies if you're able to qualify, okay? But I'd recommend you going through a full physical with your doctor. When's your next physical? Well, it's probably next year about this time. Okay, so I'd recommend waiting until you go get a full physical, your next annual physical. And then at that point, once the doctor says you're fully healthy, then at that point we can revisit this. We can go through one of those policies and then potentially drop your rate. Does that make sense? And then why do I do that? Well, because it's true. Let's get them covered with simplified issues so we know they got it, right? And then we have that policy stay in force until the next annual physical, which, if it's next month, okay, whatever. Well, we'll revisit it then, but, it could be next year. Okay, and we keep this policy in force up to that point. Does that make sense, gang? I mean, it's just playing your cards properly in a situation that could put the client at risk. We don't want to put them at risk, but we got to address the fact that other quote was a fully underwritten quote, and And no agent has ever explained this to them, right? And so when you know that they're in that situation of shopping you, always when you close the sale, at the end, you protect it. So this is the post-sale process. And part of the post-sale process is, okay, Joe and Mary, this $225 a month policy will cover you for the next 30 years. You pass away, this will take care of pain point 1, pain point 2, pain point 3. Okay, you don't say pain point. It's what you've discovered in the pain finding process. There are like 1, 2, or 3 pain points, and then you regurgitate it back to them when you do the post sale. So this will take care of your family. They don't ever have to worry about the mortgage payment for the house, right? This will also cover you if you die in an accident. It will double the benefit. Okay, it also has all the member benefits. So, then if it's Foresters, you talk about all the member benefits. So this $225, Christmas is coming, all your bills come in January. Are you going to call me and tell me $225 is too expensive? Then I shut up. I'll let them resell me. Okay, resell me on the premium. Okay, and then I'll go into, now, I'm going to give you a call in a couple of days because you're going to have some questions, right? And so I'm going to call you in a couple of days, and if you have questions, I want you to write them down on a piece of paper. So I call you in a couple of days, you can ask me your questions, okay? And this is how I protect them from buyer's remorse, right? And so I call them in a couple of days. I say, hey, Joe, got any questions for me? Oh, yeah, Alex, I want to get clarification on this accidental death thing. Okay, and then blah, 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 blah. But what am I really looking for? I'm looking for, well, Alex, me and Mary have been talking. And that 225, we just kind of think that, right now, it's the right now, right? It's like, oh, say no more. When I left, I kind of got that feeling maybe, but I wanted to give you what you wanted, but it sounds to me like, what, my last appointment's will end probably around 7 p.m. Let me swing by probably about 7:30, and let's talk about it. Let's kind of redo it and make sure that we can get it. Because remember that other option that was like, $125 option, it still would get you what you need. And that was option number 2. And would that be better for you? Oh God, that'd be great. Okay, super. Let's plan on doing that. I'll come by tonight. And look, you got 2 days as a chance to save the policy. But if you wait till 2 weeks and you say, hey, Joe, Mary, guess what? Your policy came in. I see that you got it. Hey, listen, I'm going to come over and go over it with you. Well, you don't have to come over. Look, we decided it's too expensive. We're not going to do it. So if you can please cancel it for us. But no, we thought a lot about this, and we got the insurance at work, and we're going to be okay for the next little bit, but I promise we'll call you because you're really good. Click, right? So that's why you do that part of the post sale, is you want to catch buyer's remorse when you have an opportunity for them not to have solidified that decision. But you give it 2 weeks, and when you deliver the policy, it blows up, right? And so you got to exercise the discipline of calling back in 2 weeks. Number one, it's a promise that you delivered on. Every time you deliver on a promise to the client, it increases the trust level and the fact that they want to stay with you because you did what you promised you would do, right? And so the third thing, if they're a price shopper and you just went through the whole rigmarole and going, hey, let's revisit this when you get your annual physical, you got to protect your sale, man. So how do you protect your sale? By the way, Joe, Mary, we talked about the game plan as far as in the future, seeing if we can lower your rate. Now, look, I'm not going to be the only one calling you. I'm your agent now. I'm in it with you. This is a relationship I value, and I'm going to be calling you every year, and you can call me anytime. I can come over and answer whatever questions. But every year, I'm going to get back with you and just check in on you, see how things are going. If there's any changes we need to make, if you need any other, potential services, we do estate planning, we do Medicare, we do hospital indemnity, we do retirement planning too for clients. And if you want to look at that sometime in the future, great. But I'm going to stay in touch with you. Now, you mentioned that other quote. So let me ask you a question. Let's say an agent calls you and says, hey, I can, I'm XYZ company, and I got this letter that you sent back saying that you were looking for a mortgage protection and blah, 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 like the same, when I called you, because maybe you sent out more than one of these forms. And so an agent calls you, it could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be next week, next month, next year. If they call you and say, I can get you a better rate, what would your answer be? Then I shut my trap, and I want them to tell me, oh no, Alex, I mean, you've been great. This is what I want to hear. You've been great. I know that once we know our health is in line, we have the potential to drop this rate and, pay a lot less, but I totally understand what you're saying. Okay. That's what you want to hear. But what you also want to hear, okay, is, well, I mean, they start doing the wishy-washy stuff. They start getting squirrely on you. It's like, well, we'd probably ask them to come over and then, just see what they got. And then you calmly go, oh, okay. Can I call a timeout, please? Yeah. Okay, I guess I'm really confused because I thought that I thought I really covered everything with you. And that, there must have been something I said or did that made you not trust me and made you feel like uncomfortable with me. What did I say to make you uncomfortable working with me? And I shut that H up and I'd let them answer the dadgum question, man. Sorry for fake cussing on you. I mean, wouldn't you want to know? Like, agents delude themselves. The reason why some of y'all have the worst placement of persistency is you don't do all this stuff. You think, oh, I got the sale. If I ask all these other post-sale questions, they're going to want to cancel. It's like, dudette, they're going to cancel if you don't ask these questions. You are faking yourself out, man. And that's the 11th commandment. Thou shalt not fooleth thyself, right? That's why the post-sale is so important. Some of y'all that get these chargebacks and all these, it's because you're not doing these things. Well, Alex, I sort of remember you teaching it, but what? Do you think, here I go, I get in the beat you up mode. I don't mean to beat you up. I'm like, it's like, it's like I teach stuff because I want you guys to just be so successful. It's kind of like my kids. You see them making mistakes and it's like, just want to don't touch that hot stove, and then they touch the hot stove. It's like, it's like, well, what I tell you, and some of y'all, it's like, you'll do destructive things. And it's like, man, what can I do? I can't help you anymore. After I tried to help you, before that happened, now you can always come back and say, hey, man, my last 3 clients canceled their policies. What happened? It's like, well, let's break it down. And typically, it's because of these reasons, right? It's because you didn't protect your sale when you knew there were some things happening, right? And I like throwing that in, like, tell me what you're going to say. Okay. And if they say that, it's like, man, I must have done something wrong. What did I say? Well, I'm always looking to save money, and I'm always looking to listen to what other people have to say. Oh, okay. I'll tell you what, why don't we do this? Let's cancel the policy and not go forward with it until you've totally made your decision that what I'm helping you with, that you trust me enough to help you and give you the best option. Like I told you, I can probably beat that rate that other agent gave you. I mean, I could run it right now if you want, and we'll put you through a blood urine test for sure. I mean, if you want me to do that, I can do that. So let's do this. Let's cancel the policy. And I would freaking cancel the policy. I will go in and it's like, okay, canceled. It's canceled. So let's start from square one. Okay, why do you need this policy? I'd start from square one. Alex, you'd really cancel the policy? Yeah, I'd freaking cancel the policy. Why would you keep it? Why the heck? Half of y'all would keep it. You would think, I made a sale. boom, you're out of there. And you're like doing how you breakdown. You're stopping by Walmart, buying all those things you want to buy because you got this commission coming in, only to find out, 3 days later that there's a message on your voicemail. Hey, Alex, me and my wife, we just like, please cancel. Click. How many times has that happened to y'all? Like, am I preaching to the choir? Like, y'all understand what I'm talking about? I mean, can I hear an amen from somebody that's experienced that?
Amen.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Amen. It has happened, but I didn't want to admit it.
You got to show them you're not afraid to lose the sale. I mean, you don't want to put yourself in a desperate situation. Say, hey, look,
Okay.
You're right.
This is me getting up in your face. You never lose what you didn't have. You never lose what you didn't have. How's that look? That kind of looks out in your face now. You never lose what you didn't have, man.
Hey, when it does happen, it makes you a lot more bolder the next time.
It does.
And that's when I started. When it happened, I didn't like it at all. And when it happened, if I ever wishy-washy or anything, I wanted to do it right then because it's going to cost you time, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Yes, absolutely, dude. And you know what? The lost art of the letter, a handwritten note, a lost art of the handwritten note. Dude, do that. Hey, I never thank the client because does your doctor thank you for coming in to get fixed? No. So why would I thank a client for them? I would never thank a client. Okay? Because I'm the one that provided them service. I appreciate having a client. I say, hey, I appreciate the opportunity to get to know you, and I appreciate the opportunity to serve you. Okay. But I don't thank the client for them giving me money. Right. So I'll write a letter. I know some of y'all don't believe that. It's like, okay, but that puts you into beggar status. You're begging for sales. That's a beggar mentality, right? Like, be a doctor, be the mechanic. You certainly can appreciate a chance to serve a client. I appreciate you being one of my clients. So I'm going to serve you now. Okay. And I'm going to check with you every year. And you can call me anytime. And so I'll write a little note, say, hey, it was great meeting you and Mary. I really am looking forward to serving you as your agent. And we're going to have many more years of this relate, many more years of an opportunity to get to know each other. And I'm always here for you, Alex. Okay. It's not a thank you note, but I appreciate the opportunity to serve you. And okay, well, that sounds like a thank you. No, it's my servant attitude that it's another person that I can help because they trust me enough to do that. Okay. So it's like you earned me, right? Not that I earned you, you earned me. You earned them too, but it's a different mentality, right? Because then you elevate yourself to a true professional. Does that make sense? Like, you have something that they don't have, which is your knowledge, your license, your desire to serve them, that all these other Yahoo agents out there that all just want to make commission off of them and never call them again. So you got to have value with what you can bring to the table, and you bring tremendous value because, number one, you have a heart, a servant's heart, right? Because God put you here with me, with this business, with the Alliance, with Abuyuan Financial Group, because you desire to serve. You wouldn't be with me if God didn't put you here. It's what my opinion. Okay, you don't got to believe that, but you got something. You've been endowed with this mission to go help these people. So look, man, value yourself and what you bring to the table. And this is why you're here on this call, so you can enhance your knowledge and your background and your experience and professionalism so you can give more value to people. And that's the only way you can command value, right, is by giving value, and then your compensation goes up as a result. Does that all make sense, gang? Like, seriously, it is a true and powerful thing. It's not, smoke and mirrors, gang. It really is a true thing, and I've got pictures of Jesus all over me. Right? Right, Jesus? He's right. He's right here. See that? He's telling me. That's right. That's right. Preach it, Filipino boy. Anyway.
Alex, can I add something to that?
Yeah, please.
I was in the death care industry, and I always sent a little thank you card afterwards, just saying that it was an honor to help the family through this time. And those families called me week after week when the next person got sick or when they wanted to prearrange or whatever. It brought in a lot of business because they know and they understand that they're not just a dollar sign.
That's right.
And that's what that little note's for and the letters for. It's a personal touch that keeps reminding them, birthdays and anniversaries and things like that, that you're just not a paycheck or they're not a paycheck to you. And so it'll build that relationship.
Absolutely. Thank you for, it was an honor. It was an honor to serve. It's an honor. It's my honor to serve you guys as agents. Like, I take it serious, right? Thank you for your business. And carriers say that. Why do carriers say that? Because carriers say that because you're a transaction to them. They care about you. I mean, they want to help you, but they're paid employees. They have a job to help you with underwriting. Okay. They don't have the bigger picture. They might, I'm not, but you know what I'm saying? But it's an honor. I appreciate the opportunity to serve you. I look forward to a long relationship with what we can do for you and your family, because you really mean it. And think about all the things we can give them. You guys know what we can do here to help people, like so many ways, Medicare, hospital, all those things I mentioned, right? So again, never discount what you can do for a client. Never, never, never discount. It's a really powerful thing what we do here, okay? So thank you for that, Petra. That rocks. Yeah, divine appointment. Well, that's why I look at this as a very serious thing that we do here. And this is why I go like crazy. I'm like insane about stuff. So let's go into that part where, how can I serve you better? And so I'm going to show you some things that are really cool. It's got 5 minutes. This shouldn't take long.